Good afternoon, it's week 7 and welcome back to my video series of relocating from the UK to the UAE. In today's video, I'm going to open up about a couple of mistakes that we made in the process of moving to the UAE from the UK. And those two mistakes that I'm going to talk about cost me over £6,000. First mistake I'm going to cover cost me over £2,600 and the second mistake was 17,000 dirhams. The good news is, if you listen to what I've got to say and you implement some of the things, you will avoid those mistakes and therefore the costs. So one of the best things we did before we moved out to Abu Dhabi is we came here for a bit of a reconnaissance trip in April. And that was really useful because it served many purposes. One was to figure out the area, the other one was to find schools, just to navigate around and get a feel for life and generally how it would look when we moved here. The other thing was, practically speaking, to get things set up from a business perspective. And here's where it got interesting and expensive. I hadn't checked the public holiday calendar. So what that meant was when we arrived in April 2025, where I'd planned to get my medicals done, my biometrics and all of those practical things for the business, I hadn't realised that a lot of public offices and buildings and official buildings were closed and had reduced hours. So what that meant was an extended trip. So not just an extended trip, but an extended trip with my family. So that meant an extra week's worth of accommodation, an extra week's worth of food, drink and entertaining the kids, as well as changing flights and things like that. So it added on an extra week to the itinerary and the cost of that was about £2,600. Well, actually it was more, but I've rounded down. So yeah, a bit of an expensive lesson and one that you should definitely avoid. Check public holidays, check the calendars and make sure there's no clashes. And now on to the big mistake, or the other big mistake really. It's the Winston mistake. Now some of you that have watched my other videos will know that because of a slight failure in communication, a place that we are currently in now, this is Leaf Tower, where we're living, wasn't actually down with the whole pet thing, even though I'd said specifically time and time again that the building we occupy and we signed a contract for had to be pet friendly. So this oversight meant that I had to part ways with another 17,000 dirhams. So in English money, that's about £3,600, give or take. So another expensive mistake made there. Again, for repetition, the solution is simple. Get everything checked, pet policies, get it all in writing. During the onboarding process, and all of this will be done via WhatsApp, by the way, make sure that you've got everything really nailed down and clarified, because don't assume that everyone's passed messages on that you thought they had. And you could go one step further and contact the management company of the building you're looking to occupy and ask them themselves. Then you're going to get the answer without having the middleman or woman that may or may not pass messages back and forth, which they didn't in our case. Aside from those two big mistakes, and they were pretty juicy, there were plenty of other smaller, in fact there were dozens of smaller incidents and costs and errors that, had I had the foresight or the knowledge that you could have, would prevent that from happening. And the easiest way for you to do that is to download my relocation guide. I've said it before, but if I had this available to me when I was looking to relocate to the UAE, it would have been a no-brainer. I would have clicked that button, I would have downloaded it. Yeah, there's a fee, but you know what? You get what you pay for. And everything that's in there is going to save you literally thousands of pounds and loads of your time. And you're not having to guess. But if that wasn't enough, in the guide, I've detailed every company and specialist, whether it be pet relocation, whether it be business setup consultants, whether it be tax advisors, travel agents, you name it, they're all in the guide. And I've got an affiliate with them that if you go to them, they'll give you a discount. So that discount alone for most of those providers is going to far outweigh the cost of the guide. So again, I've just tried to make this as frictionless as possible for you to make the decision easy. You can see me as your partner or your helping hand as you journey along this process of relocating your family from one country to another. It's a massive deal for everyone. And the less friction you have, the better it's going to be for everyone. Because I'm being honest with you, moving is emotionally draining, financially draining, mentally draining. It's all those things put together and more. So the more help you get and the more help you have, the better it's going to be, I can assure you. So our £6,000 lesson is this. Moving to the UAE, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, wherever it is in the UAE you're going, it's so exciting. It's going to be amazing. It is going to be the right thing that you do for you and your family, or you on your own. But it is full of hidden costs if you're not prepared. And the better prepared you are, the more able you are to journey along this with minimal friction. So you can avoid missed time trips, you can avoid pet misunderstandings, and all the small incidental errors and mistakes that I made, and there were plenty of them along the way. you can mitigate all that. Leverage my experience, leverage the playbook I've created in the guide, download it now, and let your life be a little bit easier on your journey moving you and your family to the UAE. Well, thanks for staying with me up until this point. I really appreciate it, and I hope you're appreciating these videos. There's going to be more as we go along. We're going to cover more along the journey, such as visas, banking, and loads of other things along the way. So stay tuned for more videos, like and subscribe. Yeah, I said it, and I really appreciate your time.